SXP real quick, and we just hit our 200 moving average on the 5 minute, which a lot of times is going to give you an opportunity to get a nice little bounce there. So SXP, we're going to take a look. It's bouncing off the 5 minute right there. So we're going to go ahead and jump in here, take advantage of this. We're going to do an isolated long for a 50x, and we're going to do a small percent in here. We're going to open that. Order filled. There we go. All right, so we're going long on SPX right now. Why? Because we're going to jump in here, jump off the 200 moving average, and we're bottomed out here, and the RSI is coming up. So now I'm going to take a look and walk you through the entire trade. So taking a look at the entire trade here, right? So purple's got us going on a long here. Now, when I look at the entire trade, I like to trade with the moving average, right? Now we have a 4-hour moving average coming down, but we have a green moon and we have a green trend, and you have this huge candle that just dropped. So I'm assuming that purple's probably playing this huge candle back up to the week high up here of 93.12. And what's important about a crossing of a moon is a lot of times it's either going to change color on the moon and go the direction you want, or it's going to bounce and continue its move in the other direction. So it looks like, you know, right now purple's playing it the other direction here. Right now I need a little more data. So for me, I slide to the 2 hour. What do we have in the 2 hour? The 2 hours actually oversold as well in crossing. So purple's got me here looking at a long for SXP. But right now we have a red moon. What we're looking for is a moon reset, right? Which is to get into this long for SXP here, perp. We would need this moon to go back to a green moon, right? So green moon, green trend, red moon, green, and then we're on a run here. So that's what we're looking for there. And that'll give you a nice little pump. Now, the RSI is also on the 2 hour heading down, so it means that its push is going to be not as strong as it needs to be. And the 1 hour has green moon. It has to switch over here. So we are in the middle of a sideways move for SXP. Now, looking at the 30 minute, we just got a 30-minute red here. So purple's shouting out for a long right here, but this definitely is going the other direction here. This is going to be a different direction trade here for SPX. Everything in the 4 hour, like, cause you know, we like to trade with the RSIs, right? So right now the 30-minute RSI is bottomed out, so it's going to give it a little bit of resistance here and kind of fight this move here. So you might see some pumps here out of the 30-minute, but as soon as that 30-minute comes up and rejects, or if it just rejects right here, we're going to have a short that comes in here pretty quickly here. So the only thing and plus you got the 5 minutes. So as we move through this, let's go here. So now we go to the 15-minute to see where we're at. And 15-minute, we got our red moon, red trend, and we're solidifying here, bouncing off this little section right here. So this is a tough situation for SXP. Red moon, it's starting to fight here, the 15-minute. So right now we have a 15-minute and a 30-minute RSI that want to move up or have a bounce here. But the overall trend is downward right now. Right? The overall trend is down. So I wouldn't really trade. So if you're trading longs here or any type of longs on the smaller time frames, you have to be aware that it's going to be very hard for them to break out because of the 4 hour, but not only the 4 hour, because of the 4 hour and the 2 hour are headed down. So let me take another look there just to reiterate, like, simplicity. 2 hour just broke down, and that's a pretty sharp. Anytime you have a sharp move like that, it's definitely a short position. Matter of fact, I'm going to take a short on this. I'm going to do like a 35% short here just to see the percentages as we move forward on what it would be overall, right? So if you're playing the 2 hour, right? Nothing big, just a small little thing here just to kind of see the movement down. So the only bonuses here, right? So a couple bonuses that you have massive volume, right? So on the 2 hour, you have a ton of green volume, right? Which to me right there, I would say shorts are going. So this is kind of what nullifies other indicators, right? Because every indicator has its job. So right now, SPX, guys, it's a relative strength index, and it's saying that right now the relative strength index is going down. That could simply mean it's going level, no buyers, no sellers. It's just dwindling down. Our MACDs here, the sellers have basically slowed down and the buyers have pulled up a little bit, but it looks like we're kind of even there because the volume is positive, meaning there's a lot of volume looking for XP to actually go up. So with a lot of green volume, you don't want to make a short move yet because you want a little more data, because this kind of says, I'm probably going to hang around in a very small margin here, which wouldn't do too good of any type of trade up or down, right? So now, take a look here. We need this to develop. 4 hours going down, but ton of green, and we don't have a red moon yet, so we need that to develop. If we get a red moon, then it looks a little bit better, but we need a red trend. We don't have neither of that. So right now it's a sideways move. 2 hour coming down with a red moon, but we don't have a red trend. So it's half as strong as it should be, right? If that, a quarter, maybe 20% as strong. Now you have a 1 hour that's almost literally past the halfway point. There's the 50 line right here. So this is past the halfway. It did just turn into a red moon right there, which is a bonus because we'll get a nice little extra pullback there. And it's starting to get rid of the green volume here, but not too much. And it doesn't have too far to go here. So looks like we are going to get a nice little pullback. So if you're looking for a long, you're probably going to get a good entry here. Now the bonus is you do have a 30-minute. It did get a red trend, but you have your RSI at the bottom. So now red moon, red trend means that we're in a negative position, right? So we should be looking for a short here. But you want to trade with the 30-minute trend, right? Now we do have what was the 1 hour doing? The 1 hour is going down, which is great. The 30-minute trend is going on the bottom, and the volume isn't negative yet, right? But it's getting there. It looks like it's getting there. So this is lathering up for a nice little short. The problem is that the 30-minute has to bounce up, and you don't know how much that's going to bounce up on the 30-minute. So you could end up basically retouching this. You could get a spike back up to this weak point, weak high, and then the RSI will start to come down. So here, just so you know, on here, just by trading with the 2 hour RSI that I jumped into, we have a 10%. It's going up and down, but it was a 13% short, and now it's at 8. So this is what I mean. The 30-minute is going to make its move. Now it's 5. Now it's 4. And this is only a 35% short. So if I would have took advantage of this early short position right here on the 30-minute or the 30-minute RSI bending down right there, if I would have took advantage of that with my normal 50 to 80x leverage, easy 100% short. Easy 100% short, guys. But because this is late behind this because I'm not tracking this particular coin, I don't have my moon alerts, right? This is where you want to set your moon alerts. Put your moon alerts on your 30 minutes on the coins that you're tracking. The red moon goes off, the cross goes off. That could have gave you a nice little short here. The RSI was completely oversold, right? 30-minute red moon, RSI at the top. Easy 100, 150% gains with an 80x. 80x or 50x, 100 to 150% gains right there. The problem is now we're coming across, the RSI is at the bottom, so this could bounce up a little bit. The 15-minute, look how flat the 15-minute has gone. That means this has been dragging out for a little bit of time already, right? So this means we're probably hitting a level of support here. Now we have to go find the level of support. And what is the level of support? As we dig out here, we realize that the level of support is the 200 moving average on the 5-minute. But notice how the 5-minute RSI is starting to get weaker. It hasn't broken to the top and came down. The 5-minute RSI should always be able to make, positive moves up and down, like at least completing its cycle. But right now, it's failed once, it's failed twice, which means we're probably going to hit this 200 moving average pretty hard here. And if it breaks through that 200 moving average, we can see a nice, plunge, right? Because people will panic, right? People will panic sell, right? So panic selling is going to be where a lot of people put their stop limits, right? They're not even that they're looking at the coin or trading, but they might have a stop limit here at just under the moving average here of 82.02, right? So if that bounces below 82.02, which is about to do, then it will trigger a bunch of sales. It'll trigger a bunch of sales, and then if we get lucky, we can snag that bunch of sales. Now, the key to making money in trading is very simple. Anytime you have a massive wick, a massive jump, an engulfing candle in any direction, you take the profits, right? That's what you do. You take the profits, so that way you take your money, right? You don't like continue on and say, oh, you know what, I'm going to ride this out and see what happens. I mean, the entire goal here is very simple, right? The goal is to make 30% per trade. That is it. 30% per trade. Every time you make 30%, you move on, right? Now you'll have some that go 60, 90. You set your stop loss. When it goes to 40, you put your stop loss at 35%. You leave it. If it runs further, you move your stop loss 45, 55. Stay within 10, 15% back. You keep pushing depending on what you're doing, and then you close out. Some you're going to go 30 to 80, maybe even 150. Some you'll do 20% gains, right? So it all equals out. But that average is about 50% per trade, right? If you're averagingly going after 30%, right? So if you do 10 trades, right? If you guys are doing 10 trades, right, and on those 10 trades, you're getting those movements. Even if you have 3 trades that you break even or go negative on that eliminate 3 of the other 7 trades, that means you have 4 trades that you made an average of 40% on. So 40 times 4 is what? It's 160, right? So at the end of the day, 160% is what? Doubling your money. Yes, sir. So it's all about a system and kind of moving through. So this is what I was talking about, guys. Watching a trade develop here. Remember, the reason why you have to wait for your RSIs to develop is because they bounce. Like notice here. So we were able to get that trade. I put $1 or $2 in just to see the numbers. And I was trading only at a 35x. But we were able to touch 20% profits, which would have been... what would we at a 35x? We normally do 50. So that would have been 40% on that dip, which would have been great for us. So we would have already made money. And the bounce, which is the RSI, is continuing to push up here while we're waiting. We're going to get some fight here. That has already wiped it out, and it has gone as much as 6% negative, right? So it's a battle there. But me personally, to go long here, I would have to let everything reset. It's more of a short position here. The question is, where do you get in a short, right? And the next thing is, a lot of people are going to play the moves, right? So let's go back here. We're starting to get a 5-minute move here. Purple says I'm going long here, which he looks like he's going to get his bounce. He has his 5-minute, his 30-minute here. I don't know how long that's going to last. Moon, baby. There's no moons. So let's go back. Let me look again, man. We got to walk through this. I mean, guys, remember, don't forget you have to keep, if you're watching a coin, you have to walk through it until you solve the puzzle, right? And so far right now, I'm in the middle of a puzzle. I don't see the complete puzzle here, right? So I do have my daily starting to bend down. I do have my daily RSI literally at the 100 line, right? Is it at the 100? Yeah, it's at the 100, which normally means it's going to come down. So that right there is over the next 4 hours, 4 to 6 hours, we're going to see a short on this. So whatever SPX does right now in the upward motion, it's not going to last that long, because not only do you have the daily RSI all the way at the top, your 4 hour barely made it, and it's starting to move down now, and you're looking at pulling out a red moon here on the 4 hour. So overall, the long sentiment for SPX, SXP, SXP, SXP is that it's going to be a short. It's going to give back some money here. So normally what I like to see is when you have an overextended, you know, coin or anything like that, you know, you like to see these red moons. Here goes another red moon. Now, the beautiful thing about the red moon is you have to also consider the volume, right? These are why these indicators are together. Now, the only problem I have with trying to get a short right now out of SPX is the volume is too high, which would cause like a divergence where the RSI could be going down, but the price could be going up, which is probably what we're going to see here because we have massive volume on the 2 hour, right? So whatever SXP, I've never even looked at this coin before. They are moving up here, and here you go. The buyers are starting to re-enter on the 1 hour, and the 1 hour RSI is now almost at the bottom here. Bloop. So more than likely here, guys, we're going to see this last hurrah of a pump up before it goes into its trend, right? And we're actually going to get a little more serious here. All right, so now after we're looking at it all, we can see that there's going to be some type of pump, and it's going to come off of the 1 hour RSI coming back up, and it's going to create a cycle. Now, with the volume, it overrides the RSIs because the volume's so high. It's green. It's pretty high up. There's a lot going on here. So then with the daily and the 4 hour headed down, I would say that this push that we would be expecting to probably double top or retouch or retest right in this zone here at 93.50 is probably going to be where it touches again and then heads back down the way it's supposed to. But it has one more mid bounce, maybe even 90.28 here, somewhere around here. But that's what we're waiting for right here is this bounce here, this little bounce that we're getting. So if we can get a moon reset, right? What's a moon reset? So a moon reset is when we have a trend and a moon that are the same color. They go on a run. The moon changes colors, right? Look at this. This is not even, so this push right here wasn't bad. The moon changed colors. So if this can come back around and create another green moon right in here, then we'll touch this high, we'll double top that high, and then more than likely from that point start to work our way down. But this coin is about, so when you look at a time frame, guys, what up, brother? Stuck that short. Take that profit, guys. So I would be looking here. So remember, when you look at a time frame, guys, it's like looking into the future times 3. So when we're looking at a 1 hour time frame, that's like a ideal of what's going to happen in the next 3 hours. So in the next 3 hours here, we would be expecting the RSI to start to head up and then start looking for a green moon and to extend this rally back to that double top there, right? But this is going to be a long trade. There's going to be a little bit of time because the RSI in the 1 hour is still coming down. Now we move over here to our 30 minute. We can see that it's about to cross here, but that's probably about 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes away. And you know, this red trend, that's the only thing. That just, you know, even though there's a lot of volume here, this red trend just kind of, you know, gives another override towards, you know, it's kind of like a 50-50 match right here, but that red trend, 4 hour down RSI, daily down I mean, it's just moving the needle towards a short position, right? So as we look at this, moving this needle here, we look like, okay, if you do push up, if you do get a run here, how strong is that going to be? And with everything going against it, whatever you think it's going to be, take about 30% off that, and that will be your target, right? So me right here, it's this double top, which I think it should be able to push back up to. but I would start shooting a little bit lower than that, so probably about 91 cents there. You know, if we can get somewhere in that pocket right there, you know, even the bottom of these, so 88, maybe 88 cents here, so halfway here, I would say right above there. 88 cents would probably be my target. 88 cents would be my profit target right there. So that's what I'd be looking at, right? So now that we're seeing the money come back in, we're going to get some type of pump here. The 30-minute RSI is a good pump. The 15-minute is starting to break out. We are looking for that green moon, and it's coming along, right? So we got a SXP long here. We're in a long here with purple. Thank you, purple. And now we see we have our 5-minute trend, and we're about to get our 5-minute green moon, and our RSI for our 5-minute is moving towards the top here. So with that trend and that possible moon, this would be the entry point right here to get in and then kind of like let it pop and let it go, because here's your you know one thing for sure, your stop loss is going to be the moving average right here, right? 200 moving average right below it. 82.16 is your stop loss. Set it and forget it. Hop in the long and then basically rock and roll right here. So let's go here, and we're going to post this as a trade, and everybody should know that if you're going to get into a trade, SPX long, boys. SPX, SXP. I don't know why I keep SPX. I'm always thinking XRP. SXP, guys. SXP is on the 5-minute. Yay! On the 5-minute, looking to bail out here, looking to grow, looking to get here. This is now. We're looking for this. We're looking for that. Okay. Why am I on this? SXP. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. SXP. Why is that always bringing? How many times do I gotta copy this? How many times do I have to make a copy of this right here? All right, there you go. Copy, 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 copy. Copy. All right, now that copy. Now we're going to go to 5 minutes, right? Once we find a trade that we like, guys. Once we find a trade. Woo! Once we find a trade, let's pump it. All right, once we find a trade, guys, what do we do? What do we do, guys? Once we find a trade, guys, you know what we do. VC just posted a trade, right? So what do we need to do right now? We go to the 5-minute, right? What does the 5-minute do? We take a look at the 5-minute and we see to make sure we have an RSI pullback. What do we have? A red moon, a red trend. We have a green trend, and we're looking for a green moon, and the RSI is pushing up right here. So what can we do here, guys? We are going to wait for the RSI to basically touch, come back down, and then head back up with the green moon. Do you understand? We need a 5-minute confirmation here, guys. So set the alert, boom. I'm going to set alert, boom, right there. What do I want? I want a crossing. Click this. Boom, crossover, boom, done. Once per bar, done. I'm going to slide here. I need to get rid of all this, and I need to go moon. Right, moon, M-O-N, moon. What am I on? The 5-minute, 5-minute. SXP, boom, set, done, create, boom. I got an alert. Just like that, boys, just like that. That's how you set an alert, man. That's it. And then you'll get an alert. Now, we don't enter this trade. Why? Because we don't have the green moon, yo. VC called this out. Now, if you were a veteran trader and you were tracking this trade earlier, right? Like purple, right? Purple's in this trade. Purple got in this trade because the 5-minute pulled back and it rejected off of the 200 moving average. So purple grabbed the trade right here because the 5-minute RSI was at the bottom and it bounced off a 200 moving average. So purple grabbed the trade early and said, I'm going to take a chance. So purple grabs this trade. He's in super early. We look at it now and we go, okay, are we getting in here? We're not getting in here because we don't have our green moon and the RSI has to reset. So we will come back and revisit SXP when we're supposed to enter properly, guys. That's the first part, man. You don't enter the trade just because we called it out. You go to the 5-minute and you wait for your spot, okay? Now, other guys are already in this trade. Why? Because they jumped off the 200 moving average. So somebody who's watching this coin, if you're watching a 5-minute coin and the 5-minute RSI and all this volume is red and bottomed out, and you see it hit the 200 moving average, this can only go down so much. So you hop in, you grab, and you say, okay, I'm going to hold the 200 moving average. I'm going to see what's happening. I'm going to play this, and I'm going to put a stop loss right below there, and I'm just going to see what happens. Very simple. But for the rest of us, we need the 5-minute RSI to basically reset. We need a green moon, and then we consider going in, guys.